Stephen, that was a much closer game than we had against Cliftonville earlier in the season. Talk us through your thoughts on that one.
Yeah, I think it was an entertaining game for a Friday night under the lights. Two good teams going at it, punch for punch. I think possibly we probably shaded it in the first half. Obviously they've hit the crossbar very early in the game, but other than that, I think, from a territorial point of view, getting in behind, many crosses. I think we're in the double figures, lots of restarts from corners. We played the game in their half, I felt, and moved a good team around. So yeah, I suppose that's my analysis of the first half. The second half, I'm really disappointed with the 5 minutes of madness where they go and hit the crossbar literally from our own tip off, to then go and capitalise and put the ball in the net. So I suppose that's really disappointing because, as we said to the group, in them moments when the game becomes a bit erratic, and there is moments of that in every game, they need to be a little bit calmer, cooler and make better decisions. Now, it was a 5 minute period where we looked really stretched and we could have been out of the game. But I think then we started to put a foot on it again and started getting back to what we were doing in the first half that brought us a lot of success in the game. And again, we created, I wouldn't say cut open chances in terms of one-on-ones and stuff, but we've exposed the wide centre-backs and crossed the ball several times into great areas. I suppose the most clear-cut one was when it was set back to Stevie Taggart, and the keeper makes a great save. But we've got to the right areas of the pitch. It's now about how do we find a recipe to capitalise from these quality deliveries. Like, I think, speaking with Peter and Stevie Taggart there, like, the boys crossed 10 plus balls each today, which in any game of football is incredible. So we need to, we really need to capitalise on them situations in the attacking third.
You mentioned previously the word complete performance. How complete do you think that was?
It's getting very close, isn't it? Look, come here. Obviously, as the game goes on, it becomes a bit more stretched again. We're trying to go and score an equaliser, so you're always going to run the risk of maybe conceding a second. But I think it's getting very, very close. So, Tuesday night we put in a complete 90 minutes performance, 2-0 clean sheet. Tonight, we've, albeit, yes, we rode our luck with them hitting the crossbar early in the second half and the post, but as I say, if we were a little bit more clinical at the other end, we could have had a couple of goals of our own. So look, I think it's slowly getting there. There's confidence, in the group. I think they're starting to recognise, albeit they're not happy losing games, and nor are we as a staff. I think they're confident about how we want to carry out. I suppose how we want our team to play. I think even till the last couple of moments there, we're still cutting through and getting balls down the sides and deliveries into the box. So, it's exciting, and as I say, I'm confident the results will come.
You mentioned in recent weeks as well the youth that we've had coming through tonight. We had Ribsy back in the midfield, a bit more steel. You mentioned before, obviously, his aggression in there. How good was to have him back in there in a man of the match performance as well? Yeah, listen,
Ribsy's been around the block. He's won league titles, he's won cups. He's got that experience. He's invaluable, and on top of it all, like, technically he's a very good player. But he ran the game there for a lot of times within the first half and second half. So, no, listen, we need players like that on the pitch. Obviously we've told them stay on the pitch. That's the main thing. But look, Ribsy wears his heart in his sleeve in terms of his tenacity to win the ball back. But on the ball, sometimes that might go unnoticed. He's superb on the ball, 1 and 2 touch, makes the team tick. Very clever in the areas he picks up on the pitch. So, look, we need them players. We haven't got the biggest squad in the world here, and obviously you've mentioned youth there. Like, youth are going to get their chance because we have youth on the bench, and that's what we have to tap into. So, yeah, look, that's all positive.
Looking forward to next week then, an extra day because we played Friday night. Glentoran away, and it's going to be a tough challenge again.
Yeah, all games are tough. Like, they all bring different problems. They all bring different pressures. Every game is a pressure game when you're down around the bottom like we are in this moment in time. But as I say, we'll keep working with the lads and preparing them for the best way possible we see fit. And I think if we keep performing like we are, it's a matter of time before we click. It's been 2.5 weeks. We've had a lot of games, 5 games and 3 training sessions in that period. So we're comfortable. We're comfortable where we're at, and as I say, it is going to click.
Would you prefer more training or more game time as a coach?
Well, obviously, I'm actually quite pleased and surprised with how far we are at this stage with 3 training sessions. So I think the games in this moment have been good. Albeit we've lost 3 league games, we've won 2 cup games in between that as well. So obviously we want to start picking points up in the league now. So yeah, look, I think there's a 3-week period before we come into November where we have 2 nights of training where there's no midweek game, so it allows us to work a little bit more on the grass. So ideally, you would like that time to to get your ideas across, because look, we haven't had a pre-season, we haven't had anything here. We're coming in a moment where there's midweek games, weekend games, so we're throwing a lot at the players to try and take on.